recruiters, their job is to try and get a talented employee at a bargain price. That's what their job is. They get rewarded for that, generally speaking. It's like you when you go to the store. You go to different stores, you look at, like, maybe they carry the same products. You're looking for a store that carries the same product for less, right? That's exactly what the recruiter is trying to do. They want to hire someone like you. They want to hire them for the least possible amount of money. That way they look like geniuses to their bosses, right? They have budgets, and generally speaking, they're not looking to just give money away when it's not necessary. If you could have gotten that employee for $50,000, why did you start by offering them $90,000? You know what I mean? They would have taken 50. They don't reward recruiters for doing that. There are obviously exceptions to everything. Managers kind of sometimes make exceptions if they're worried about, oh no, we might lose this. Like, it's just all irrational fears and stuff. But generally speaking, recruiters will try and get you for as low as they possibly can. And they'll use every trick in the bag to enable that. So what they're doing to you here it falls under that category. They sort of surreptitiously get you to agree that, on the pay at the beginning, right? So therefore, they feel like there's this psychological contract where you can't renege on what you said originally. And that's a well-known thing. Usually what comes next is you agree to a general compensation, and then they reveal a lot more details about the role, like, oh, by the way, it's shift work. Oh, by the way, there's mandatory overtime. Oh, by the way, there's going to be 50% travel involved. That's mandatory. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention it, but no possibility of remote work, right? Oh, and you only get 3 days vacation a year, by the way. That's a well-known thing, right? And then they still feel that they can hold you to your original statement that, you agreed to a certain level of compensation. That's crap. They're changing the rules. So therefore, now that there's new information that's come to light, well, I have to take that into account. And the best way to do it is not to discuss this with them until you get an offer in your hand. So let them think that you've agreed to this very low amount of money. If that gets you to the point where they offer you the job, they're set on hiring you, they're imagining you in the role, they've already stuck their neck out to write you a custom offer, and in their minds, this recruitment campaign is now over. They fill the position, right? Let them think that. Then when you get the offer, you say, well, since we talked about this, it has been brought to my attention that this role is actually shift work. It's a 24/7 operation, so it seems like I will likely have to work holidays. It's mandatory overtime. It's travel. It's no remote work, which we didn't talk about it, but that was my assumption from the very beginning. It would be remote work. So that's fine. Listen, I'm still prepared to take it, so don't worry, It's just you need to change that number to this number, and then we got a deal. So don't fall for all these silly little amateur tactics that their sole purpose is to cheat you out of what you could have gotten if you had countered these, right? Daisy says, that makes sense. Thanks. This is a nonprofit organization, but it's the first time I'm dealing with the recruiter first. Yeah, listen, nonprofit can mean a lot of different things, right? It has a very specific meaning to do with how they file taxes and things. But a nonprofit, one nonprofit can be a charitable organization that helps lots of people directly out of the goodness of their heart and uses lots of volunteers and stuff. Another nonprofit can be essentially a cold cash generating business. It's just that they're technically classified as nonprofit, so they don't have to pay as much taxes, but there's absolutely no difference in practice with how they operate. So I don't think anyone's going to have any real crisis of conscience negotiating properly, what your compensation should be with that type of company. Other than that, check out my courses. If you are looking to go deeper into how to get hired, you kind of feel a bit lost, all my advice is basically in one place right here in this course. There's a link in the description box where you can get that. Also, I have a link to an FAQ video, frequently asked questions. So you see exactly how it works, what you're getting. Everything is as transparent as possible. Check that out. If you are looking to move upward into the world of management, or you're just wanting to tack on some above average communication skills that will help you in professional circles, check out that course right there. It's called Write Like a Professional. And that's where I put all the things that I learned to improve my communication skills earlier on in my career, that eventually resulted in me working as a CEO for a couple of years. So check that out if you want to tack those on, if you want to climb the ladder. Technical skills are great. They can get you far, but there's kind of a ceiling to where technical skills alone can get you. Beyond that, you need to tack on other things. This is the communication skills component. There's other things too, depending on what level you're going to. Like we talked about financial management skills, business skills, all that kind of stuff. But that's the communication component. So if you want to tack those on, it will help you in your conventional career. It'll also help you with networking. It's not just how to write, it's about like what response to give. So a lot of people have found that course helpful. So check those out.